Hey, I'm Maggie Schotte, and this is my video tour of my professional ePortfolio. So as we start in the General Info tab, I'll go to the Introduction, and this is just kind of an overview of what you'll be seeing throughout this portfolio. Professional presentations, trainings, my article summaries, and then a professional development plan are just a few of the things that I worked on throughout the course. As I go to my candidate info, this is more of like a personal page or a get to know me page. So first I start with my introduction video, and then I talk about how I felt at the beginning of this course. As you can tell, I was a little bit intimidated. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I was anxious, but I was definitely excited to just get going and put everything together. Then I wrote some goals, both personal and professional. And then I also talked about where I saw myself down the road, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I really enjoyed both of these parts because it kind of made me self-reflect and see where I was at and where I wanted to be after this master's degree. Moving on, we'll go to the technology philosophy. Here, I've never written a technology philosophy before, but it was kind of fun too. One thing that I really touched on here was that using technology in your classroom isn't the same as integrating it into your lesson to better your lesson. And as technology gets more and more popular, I think it's really important for educators to understand that and use it to help our students. If you can read it there, or you can go to my Google Doc. Next, I'll go to my leadership philosophy. Here, I don't see myself becoming a principal or stepping into a leadership role of that magnitude, but I do see myself being a leader in my school. And a good leader to me has many qualities, but I touch on 3 really big ones. They have to be an effective communicator. I believe that good leaders aren't afraid to work and get their hands dirty. They're not the ones just telling people what to do. They're also working hard. And then lastly, I think that they should have a firm belief that every child deserves equal opportunities and you hold them all to a high standard. So again, you can read about it here more in depth, or you can go to my Google Doc. Finally, in the candidate info is my resume. I haven't made one of these for a few years, so it was kind of fun to think about the skills that I possess and kind of reflect on things that I had done and think about, why would someone want to hire me? So yeah, that was really fun to create. Next, we're going to move into the big chunk of the portfolio. First, we'll go to the professional development plan. Here again, I have it all laid out here, but if you would rather see it in the Google Doc, the link is right down there. So this was probably the most intimidating part of the class as I began. I had never done anything like this before. I didn't know what to expect, but after doing it, I took away so much from it. So I really focused on making sure that all of my teachers in my school understood and felt comfortable and confident using the technology that we have in place. So many times we get something new, but we don't get the proper training for it. So in this plan, I focused on listening to teachers' needs and wants and seeing what they needed to feel comfortable and confident in using this technology. So there's lots of presentations on using the things that we already have, just helping the teachers understand it better. So next we'll go to the trainings. Some of these trainings would be used in my professional development plan. The first one is actually a training with my students. We create a book, a sight word book using Book Creator. And then the next 2 are professional development ones that I could use. First one is Seesaw, and the next one is Reading Eggs. And I really just go over the ins and outs of these programs and try and get all of my educators on the same page. Now, as you can see, the seesaw training is like a part 1. So in my plan, there will be multiple days of training for it. Next, the professional presentations are just like they sound. These are the presentations that I would use in my training. So going Seesaw, rolling into Reading Eggs, and then the last one is a little bit different because it would be for my kindergarten students. So they can't really have a slideshow or presentation like that, so I made a video for them to watch, hear, and listen and see me actually doing it. Next, we're moving on to the article summaries. All of these article summaries go hand in hand with issues that we face as educators. And you'll see these in my professional development plan. So the first one, do we have enough assistive technology? Do we have the access to it? And the second one, how much technology should we be using in a primary classroom? How much is too much? And then the last one, how do I make my online classroom more like my face-to-face classroom? How do I humanize it? So check out these summaries to read about the research and then also to see my thoughts on these issues. And then finally, we get to the extra resources. Now, this section was kind of fun to create because I got to go back through all the things that I created throughout my whole degree. So as you scroll through, you'll see some of these are lessons for students. Some of these could be trainings for educators. And then some of them, or one of them is even like my top 10 Google tools. So I really kind of dove into Google and decided what I liked best and why I liked it. So I hope you take some time to scroll through them and check these out. And then finally, we'll go to the evaluation and the peer review. So I had 2 awesome internal peer reviewers and then 1 external peer reviewer. This was so helpful because I felt like I could go to them with any questions or concerns and they would be instantaneously, like super fast in helping me. And I felt like we all kind of had the same questions sometimes, or if one knew it, it was just so nice to bounce ideas back and forth with these people. So a great thing. And then my reflection, it's kind of fun to look back at what I was feeling as I began this course and then looking now like how my feelings have changed as I'm wrapping up the course. So my main goal was growth, and I can honestly say that I've met and probably exceeded that goal throughout my degree. So you'll read in here that I now feel like I have a responsibility to be a leader in my school. Not a principal, not anything like that, but just a teacher that other teachers can come to with questions and concerns, and I can help them to feel comfortable and confident in their technology use and things like that. So this is my video tour. I am very proud of this portfolio and the work that I've done. Thanks for checking it out.